Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. Right, today we're gonna find ourselves diving into this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq. Right, my analysis is exactly the same as what I found myself having in my previous breakdown. Right, the weekly breakdown. If you haven't found yourself watching it, please do go back. I will link it at the end of this video. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just remove price. We can clearly see that we haven't had that much of momentum when it comes down to price. So you know what, I am quite neutral at this point. I would love to see some downside actually, but you know what, I will be quite neutral with what price is presenting, right? So on the H4 time frame, I can't say too much, right, what is happening over here, because I look at this as an indecisive candle, right? This candle haven't found itself closing just off yet, right? So there's still a high possibility with us having a, you know what, a shift towards the upside as well, right? So H4 time frame, you know what, not too much we can say about that right there. Okay, H2 time frame, we can see that, you know what, liquidity has been taken out right over there, right? So if we are going to look at this little correction we find ourselves having, we have liquidity over here as well. So you know what, we are still somewhat bullish in structure, so there's a high possibility of us having some sort of a push towards the upside. We can also see with the wicks of these candles, right, price is not showing the best momentum. We can see that we do have a whole lot of rejections towards the downside as well, right? So in a situation like this, we need to find ourselves being quite reactive when it comes down to price, right? Look at this, more you know what, more confluences that, you know what, that is an actual indecisive candle. Here we can see on the H1 time frame we have a whole lot of back and forth happening, right? So we do have quite whack price action. We have whack price action, if I can basically put it like that, right? However, we are still going to find ourselves just following our rules, which we are having, right? And at the end of the day, that is all that matters. Okay, that's literally all that matters. Just follow your rules, fam. That's it. Just follow your rules. So we do have buy side liquidity, which has been taken out right over there. You know what? And then my sell side liquidity will basically come through right over here, which I will just leave like that, right? If we are going to look at structure, what can we see? What did price find itself having? We do have a beautiful high. We came back for a retest. We went up, created this higher high, and then we had a consolidation. So in overall, you know what, structure is still somewhat bullish, right? If I can get out my foot from the swing low to the swing high, we find ourselves creating right over there. We can see that price haven't found itself coming back into a discounted area, right? This region right over there. So there is a high possibility of us basically coming into this region and have a further continuation move to the upside, right? A proper change in structure, I don't see it just off yet. Okay, I don't see it just off yet. Scaling to my my 15-minute time frame. Let's see what's happening on the 15-minute time frame. Can we see some equal lows? Can we see some equal highs? Right, so here we can basically see that these lows, they are quite relatively equal, right? So it would be nice to see price have some sort of a pushback to the downside, right? So let's zoom price in. The high has been taken over here, the low. Let me just do this. Let me just box it out and maybe just make this a different color. Okay, let's make it blue. So here we can see the high has been violated, which is our buy side liquidity. Looking at this leg, you can see that this leg haven't been violated just of yet. We do have 3 minutes left for this leg to be violated, right? So with this leg basically being violated, this can potentially be a reasoning for us to look for some beautiful shorts, right? And why would that be, right? 15-minute time frame and 1 hourly time frames, they are basically going hand in hand with one another. I look at them as intraday time frames, right? So with my major area of liquidity, right? If I'm seeing that my major area of liquidity, whether this is buy side or sell side, is basically being taken out on my 15-minute time frame upwards, you know what, I am just expecting something to find itself happening, right? So over here, we can see that we did have some sort of a change in market structure, right? We can see that that high has been violated. We can see that this low is currently almost being violated. So if we can have a closure below this area, this will simply mean that we do have a nice clean change in structure. So this will simply mean that we are bearish in structure, right? So if we can have that closure below, I would then expect price to have some sort of a shift to the upside and then have that beautiful shift back down, right? You know what, as we can see that price did find itself creating a beautiful fair value gap for us right over here, right? And a confluence to why we can potentially see some downside momentum is basically these lows right over here, right? They are quite relatively equal. So I will find myself just targeting these beautiful lows right over here, which is coming through as my sell side liquidity. Okay, and even if price is just going to find itself having that shift back towards the downside, I'll just simply wait for a change in market structure on a lower time frame to basically take price all the way up towards the downside back into this point of interest, right? So currently this would serve as a point of interest to where I can potentially find myself looking for some beautiful shorts, right? One thing that is basically going hand in hand with that will be this beautiful inversion fair value gap we also have found ourselves creating right over here as well, right? So this inversion fair value gap is basically lining up with this fair value gap over here as well. So a deeper retracement will basically be back into this inversion fair value gap. Okay, keep that in mind. So if we are basically going to look for some shorts, the shorts will basically look something like this, right? Gonna 20 pips to the to the upside, and then we're gonna find ourselves having a beautiful 1-to-2 ratio, just like that, right? Just like that. So if we can basically see that shift, that we come back down, right? We do have these beautiful lows right over there. Also, we can see that if we are going to go back to my 1 hourly time frame, right, just like I made mention, check this out, get that flip from that low to that high, just like that, right? We can see that our point, well, our take profit area is still lining up within a premium area, right? And what do we ultimately want to see? We want to see price basically come back to a discounted area so that we can potentially find ourselves looking for some beautiful long opportunities from that region onwards. Okay, and that right there is my beautiful outlook when it comes down to this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq, right? We do have around about 15 minutes left for the New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up. So I will be patiently waiting for my New York Stock Exchange to find itself opening up, right? That's all I'm gonna do. Right, so we can see that we did have a closure below. So you know what, we are bearish in structure. So I will just, you know what, I will appreciate a beautiful shift to the upside and then have a beautiful short opportunity, right? So the moment we're going to find ourselves having that shift to the upside, right, look at this, we can see that price is lining up within a premium area as well. What do you want in a premium area? In a premium area, you basically want to see price have some sort of a sell off, right? Because this is when price is expensive, and when price is expensive, you basically want to sell it, right? And when things are relatively cheap, right, when it is in a discounted area, what do you want to find yourself doing? You want to buy it, right? Simple as that. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Okay, so that right there currently is my outlook on this beautiful pair. Let's see in the next 50 minutes what price is going to find itself doing. Okay, so till then, let's get it. All right, showtime. Right, showtime, baby. So, you know what? It's almost our time, right? So all we're now going to be is patient and see if we can have that push to the upside. Basically, just take out liquidity over there, and then we're gonna find ourselves going short on this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq, right? I like these lows over here. They are quite relatively equal as well, right? Which is basically a sign that we can see these lows basically being violated. Okay, so let us be patient. We do have 1 minute left. Clean stuff. There we go. Let's go. Let us go. Let us go. See, can we have the tap? Can we have the tap? Let's wait and see. And don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, fam. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, family. I highly appreciate each and every single one of you. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Equal highs being created. We can still expect some upside, right? We're almost there, almost there. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 1 second. Let's go. Up we go. Up we go. No wick towards the downside. I like that. I like that. Right, but let's go up. Let's go up, Nazi. More, almost there, almost there. I see. Right, so we are short, fam. We are short. We are short on this beautiful pair called the Nasdaq. So now we just have to wait and see what price has in store for us, right? Keep in mind, highest or the deepest area we can find ourselves having the pullback into will basically be back into this inversion fair value gap right over there, right? So inversion fair value gap right over there. So let's wait. Now all we can find ourselves doing is literally just be patient. So what I'm gonna do now is literally just copy this link, head over to my tool, right? Head over to my tool, just like that. Oh, like these news stuff is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna paste it in. I'm gonna paste it in just like that. Right, I found myself going short right over there. So all I'm now going to find myself doing is literally just wait for the actual outcome, and then you know what, I'll find myself just putting it in right over there. Okay, so let's wait. Let's wait. I like that. I like that. I like that rejection. I like that rejection. So let's wait. Let us wait and see. So we are nicely in profits, nicely in profits, and some nice profits. Let's go. Let's go. Fam, listen, everything feels impossible until you actually do it, right? You might not find yourself being on that level of a Q Banks, right? On that level of a Lambo Raul, right? Where you can be like, okay, cool. You know what? We are flexing like Lamborghinis and all of those things, right? No, find yourself, you're going to get there, right? Like me, I do know that I will get there eventually, right? As if now I need to know where I am standing. I need to know what I am finding myself doing. You know what? You need to make sure that when it comes down to technical analysis, when it comes down to what you are seeing in price, get those things right, right? After that, now you're going to find yourself looking at getting more money, right? And after you get more money, then you can find yourself just, you know, doubling, tripling the amount that you are finding yourself having, right? So for those who's feeling like it is impossible, right? And for those who feel like, yo, D, how are you finding yourself doing this? How? Like how? Right, fam? Listen, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind that this year will be this channel's third year, I think, yes. We'll be 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. That I just have to make sure again. But with that being said, you know what? That is a whole lot of years behind it with me coming to the charts on a day-to-day basis, where I find myself just breaking price down, asking myself, why did price do this? Asking myself, why did price do that? How can I find myself improving, right? I never gave up, right? I never, ever gave up, right? Yes, I had those moments where I felt like, you know what, maybe this is not for me. You know what, maybe I'm not smart enough for this, etc., right? We all feel that. We all do feel that, because keep in mind, this is a complex game, right? This is a complex game. We are competing against the higher ups. We are competing against people who has deep pockets, right? So it's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy, right? And many people think that it is something that just comes easy, as if now would I say that it is something easy? I will say that it is much easier as what it was, right? It's much easier as what it was because I simply do know what I'm going to find myself looking out for when it comes down to price, right? When it comes down to price, look at that beautiful shift towards the downside. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to find myself closing my trade, fam. I'm closing my trade, right? And then I'm gonna close. I'll be with you now, right? I'm gonna close the majority of my position, and then I'll just keep a runner going. Place my trade at break even, just like that. Just like, whoa, at break even. Yo, XM is the best, or MT5 is the best, right? All I can literally just do is click on the button and just adjust my actual thingy, right? So that right there is clean. Right? So worst case scenario, as if now, is price is going to find itself having some sort of a pullback, right? Take me out, but you know what? I'm still walking away with something. So much appreciated, right? But getting back to it, right? It is super hard at first, right? Super hard at first. If we are basically going to look at my thumbnail, right? Look at the thumbnail. My YouTube thingy is like at the bottom. It's just there, right? It looks like there's no progress. It looks like it is impossible, right? It looks like nothing is happening. But if you're going to zoom in, you are going to see that there's growth. Right? There's growth, there's viewers, you are watching it, right? There's subscribers that is coming through whatsoever, right? There is growth when it looks like there's no growth. And many of you look down on that part right over there. You think that you are not growing when in actual reality you are growing. It's just slow, right? You are expecting yourself to have an out of this world, just upside growth when that is not how it's finding yourself doing. You want to find yourself skipping steps when you should not be skipping any steps, right? You're supposed to feel that hardness. You are supposed to feel that deep depression. You are supposed to feel like you want to give up. You're supposed to feel all of those things, because you know what, once you are finding yourself getting over that, this is when you are going to realize that, you know what, you have work to do. Right? You have work to do at the end of the day, right? And once you realize that, you know, you are going to appreciate your journey so much more, right? Because those are the actual things that is actually bringing value to your journey, right? That's the things that is bringing value to your craft, right? That's the things that is bringing value to my craft at the end of the day as well, right? Because with me basically outlining whatever I'm finding myself outlining, right, there is a whole lot of emotions behind that, right? There's a whole lot of time and effort behind that. And that right there is what's making everything, you know what, valuable at the end of the day, right? So as if now, all I'm going to find myself doing is literally just be patient, just look and see what price is finding itself doing, right? Look at this. We did say that we do have these relatively equal lows right over there, right? And we can see that those relatively equal lows has been violated right over there, and we can see that price is finding itself having some sort of a rejection, right? So if I can maybe just get out my foot from this low to that high, just want to make sure something. Okay, cool, right? So worst case scenario, if I get stopped out, you know what, I am still walking away with something. So let us monitor this price, right? If we're gonna get stopped out, it's cool. We're just gonna have to go back to the drawing board and just make note of that, and obviously see how we could have found ourselves getting it better, right? But as if now, if I'm just gonna find myself looking at price action, right, what I could have found myself doing a little bit better was basically just be a little bit more patient, right? Be a little bit more patient in the sense of, check this out, right? What did we say? What do we have over here in the 15-minute time frame? We said that we do have this inversion fair value gap right over there. So instead of me basically going short of this fair value gap right over there, I could have just found myself being a little bit more patient and just wait for price to tap into this inversion fair value gap, right? And right over there, take profit would have been smacked. I would have been out of this trade with everything, right? And that would have just been the better trade, right? So with me basically saying that tomorrow, the day after that, I'm going to make sure that I will find myself being being a little bit more patient, look at things like that, right? Just so that I can make sure that I'm in and I'm out of the market. Because me personally, I don't like being inside the market for too long, right? I don't know about you, but me, Diego, I don't like being inside the market for too long. I want to be in and I want to be out, right? I am a scalp trader at the end of the day. So you know what, for me, that is how I'm finding myself trading. And if you want to find yourself trading like that as well, you can just simply find yourself following me on this channel, right? If you want to find yourself having some private sessions, you can just simply find yourself joining our Patreon page as well, right? And if you don't want to find yourself joining our Patreon page, but you are finding yourself having some or gaining some value from this, you can just simply find yourself, you know what, supporting my campaign whatsoever with XM, right? The link, everything will be in the description, right? Everything will be in the description. And can you find yourself learning all of this? Yes, right? Yes. No one came into this earth with being like, you know what, buy Nasdaq, sell Nasdaq. No, right? You have to find yourself learning. You had to literally learn to become the person who you want to become, right? I had to find myself learning all of these things. So with that being said, you know what, let's find ourselves monitoring price. You know what, if I'm going to get stopped out, cool. But yeah, you know what, let's see what price has installed for us. Will we find ourselves having some sort of a change in market structure? Yes, no, right? Here we can clearly see that we are now tapping in a breaker as well, right? So we can see that from this area onwards, we might see price have a further continuation move back to the downside. We can see that we had a beautiful fair value gap right over there, right? And we are inside our premium area. So you know what, I would like to see prices Dunkin' Donuts from here, dumping donuts, right? Dumping donuts. So let's be patient and let's wait price out. Okay, let us wait price out. Let's go. All right, fam. So it looks like my camera don't want to play with us today, right? But anyway, take profit has been smacked to the T, right? What a beautiful way to start off this week, right? And all I'm going to find myself doing as if now is literally once again copy this beautiful link, place it inside my tool right over there, paste it in. It was a beautiful W for us on this beautiful Monday whatsoever. So much love from me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.